Brady did play in that era where, wide receivers, you could not go across the middle of the football field. You would get taken out. Like, we was watching the video with Shannon Sharp and with Ocho Cinco earlier today when they're talking about times that they got laid out. And, Ocho Cinco was talking about one of the times that he got laid out. And even like this was earlier in the game, but even in the post-game, interviews, it was like he was drunk. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Patrick Mahomes never played in that era, so that part of it you can't really quantify. Okay, would his wide receivers make the catch? Because that's really more of what it would be. That's true, it's not really on Pat, but I do think that Pat is a dog. I think that he's strong enough to be able to withstand the types of hits that the quarterbacks used to take back in the day. And then too, I mean, like the further back that you go, I mean, we're talking about like the freaking ends were like 210 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And Pat Mahomes is like 225, 230. Right. So he's a lot bigger than those guys back then. So for those of y'all that might say, oh, he wouldn't have withstood it, understand something, that the athletes these days are a lot better. They're getting better and better. They're going to continue to get better. And I mean, I don't think that you can even argue with that.
Yeah, which is part of the reason why we saw the rules come into play.
That's exactly why the rules got changed, because somebody was going to get killed.
Heck, I know I call it, I think you call it too, the Sean Taylor rule. I think Sean Taylor was kind of really the guy, 6'4", 230, where they're like, hey, we can't continue to let this guy play safety and come downhill, just tee off on people. Like, I think that was more. Yeah, I think he might have started it, but I think that you're talking more about like what's the guy's name? Taylor. No. Taylor Mays.
Taylor Mays.
Taylor Mays. Yeah.
Taylor Mays, 6'4", 230, 4'2", 240. Dude playing safety. Are you kidding me? Somebody's gonna get. I mean, that literally, I feel like it was that year. I want to say it was 2007 or 2008. It feels like that year is where there was a big emphasis on. Yeah. Hey, like we're cracking down on this now. Yeah, we can't, you know what I'm saying? Because let this happen. It was lit because like somebody would get killed. Yeah, like somebody would really get killed.
And that definitely does. That's a great point you made about that comparison, because that does affect. I think it affects how quarterbacks are they willing to try to fit that ball in there across the middle, because they know, hey, like back in the day, I mean, here's the deal about Peyton. He was kind of known for getting guys laid out.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, dude. He was kind of known. Hey, Peyton didn't care. He was like, man, look, this is my job. The window's there. I'm throwing it. Your job is to make the catch and put your life on the line. Didn't care. And I will give Brady credit for this, because he was like, man, I wasn't going to make those throws. So I can give him credit for that. And I mean, it's crazy because we're looking at so many different barriers being broken right now. It's so many different ones. Tom Brady was like the old school prototype quarterback. You got to stand in the pocket and, you got to do it this way, da-da-da-da. And Pat Mahomes is literally the complete opposite of that, even though he can do that, and he does do that. But a whole lot of you can't throw it from this angle. You can't throw it back on that side of the field. He does it.
Everybody's doing it.
And now we're seeing more and more players doing that. But I think that that's good, because I kind of take it back to, like how they used to fight wars, where they would stand up in a line and shoot at each other. Boom, boom, boom. Like you stand there and you wait to get shot. Reload.
Yeah. And they're going to take their turn.
Yeah. And now, they're shooting at you. Fire. Yeah, you're standing there like a daggone statue, like that old, red coat way of fighting. And that's actually how we beat them, because we stopped fighting like that.
Yeah,
like we started doing different. We was like, nah, man, like, we got to try to hide. Like, we got to do something different. We got to be unorthodox. We got to get funky with it. So that is how we ended up winning there. And I also think that football is going to be so much better moving forward, because, we're not going to put people inside of a box. You know what I'm saying? People have different skill sets, and you've got to celebrate what people are capable of. Now, obviously, there's got to be some sort of a guidance, but I think that it's been very lazy coaching. It's like, okay, well, this is what we know, so you have to do this. But no, like, you have to be a great coach and be able to see, hey, this player's good at doing this, so let's maximize that. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, instead of, he's got to do it this way.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the kind of the OBJ effect when you make that catch. Yeah. One-handed catch. All of a sudden now receivers across the country are working on one-handed catches. And, I mean, here's the deal. At the end of the day, you're going to have to probably make a one-handed catch at some point. DB's going to be holding you. Ball's too far for you to use both hands. Guys reach up one hand. Like, you have to work on that type of stuff. And you're seeing more of those type of catches happen nowadays. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. You're seeing more quarterbacks working on the off-platform throws. And that's more sometimes a more efficient way to throw it. That's, one of the issues we've seen with some of these, quarterbacks. And we've even seen kind of Peyton, people talk bad about him about this, is maybe he's a little too over the top. Sometimes you're a little too over the top. We hear about it in baseball a lot, pitchers and stuff like that. Like sometimes you need to kind of change your arm angle, come a little more 3/4, whatever it is, be a little unorthodox, like you said, and that's more effective, more efficient. Especially you talk about Tennessee's offense, right? We do a lot of, RPO, boom, get out to the flat quick.
Yep, get it out there quick.
Hey, what's the quickest way to get out to the flat? Just like I just threw it. Okay.
Yep.
If you come all over
you got to shoot from the hip.
Yeah, that's
you got to be able to shoot from the hip.
So, I think Mahomes really changed the game. He's a guy I can remember he was coming out of college. I kind of thought he was going to be, I remember like Mel Kiper and those guys were kind of boosting him up. I didn't think he was going to be a guy.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, damn. I was like, why they taking him with this pick?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I was like, and they already got Alex Smith. I'm thinking like, this is a dumb pick. But I'm literally that's what I'm thinking when they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I've never been more wrong about anything I think in my entire life.
He's definitely changed the game.
Yeah, he's changed the entire thing. Yeah. So I would say that he's almost like the Steph Curry of football. But at the same time, you could even kind of look at him like the Michael Jordan of football as well, because Michael Jordan changed a whole lot about basketball too. And thank you for watching this Blue Chip Breakdown clip. If you enjoyed it, please click that thumbs up button and the subscribe and notification buttons below. So that way you will be notified by YouTube whenever we are going live or whenever a new video drops.